It's been almost 4 years since Pete Shevlino answered his phone only to find out from Mount Pleasant police that his teenage son was behind bars. This wasn't for underage drinking or any typical teenage tussle with the law. It was for armed robbery. In August of 2006, Sean Shevlino and a couple other of his Wando classmates were involved in the armed robberies of Subway and Food Line in Mount Pleasant. Not only would the lives of Sean and the 10 others who were involved in the robberies be changed forever, but so would their families. As the verdict came out, a community was left shocked and stunned by the decision of the courts. Sean was to receive an adult sentence and would serve 10 years behind bars. The 10-year sentence left the Shevlino family hurt, but still fighting.
Well, the first time I heard about what Sean did, it was through my mother, and she was pretty upset. In fact, she was bawling hysterically, and she was just so upset about what had happened and what was going to happen.
When you first found out, you heard about what happened, what was your reaction to what Sean had done?
And it's just insane. It's hard to fathom, but the only thing you can do is think positively, and that's all I've been doing since, and visiting him as often as possible. It's just something you take in strides, and you get through it.
What was Sean like before all this happened?
Before, I can honestly say he was a little rascal. Him and his buddies were never really up to any good. Months before it had happened, they had been getting into trouble, and he was just hanging out with the wrong crowd.
After he had been bailed out, and there was a little time period in between before he had been sentenced, what did he do during that time?
He spent, I believe, six to 8 months of that time at a rehabilitation camp called Three Springs in North Carolina, where he learned peer group bonding and important leadership skills. And he was out in the woods building cabins and living off the land, that kind of stuff, and just away from drugs, alcohol, and all things like that. I'd have to say it made a huge impact when he returned, and he was definitely a better man for going. And he excelled quickly. He became the head of his group, the leader of his section, within just a couple months, and really proved himself there, and he made us really proud.
So what issues did your family take with, the sentencing, the whole process, the solicitor, the prosecution, and ultimately Sean being put away for 10 years?
Solicitor Scarlett Wilson was trying to make a name for herself, was fresh on the board, and was trying to show that she was tough on crime, decided to throw the book against my brother and his fellow constituents, and now two of them are doing hard time. We're sentenced hard time as juveniles. And that's what we've been fighting for this whole time, going to Columbia and trying to pass laws in which this shouldn't happen. It should be a judge. It should be ruled by a judge. Instead, she overpasses the judge and says, I want this to happen, this is why I want this to happen, and it happened.
So tell us about how the community responded with him, kind of collectively gathering and pushing for Sean, and some of the steps you guys took with the bumper stickers and stuff like that.
Well, I have to say, my dad, Peter Shevlino, really got the community together as far as taking action in Columbia and passing laws and trying to write laws, actually, and getting Sean's story out there.
So how often do you guys visit Sean up in jail?
But now that I'm back and I've been in Charleston for the past 2 years, it's been every single weekend, unless there's too many people visiting him that weekend, like family coming from out of town, and friends that he has on the list to visit him. So often.
And what do you guys talk about?
Oh man, we just shoot the breeze a lot. They got sports back there. He likes to run around. He's a tractor driver, so he bales hay. He has to fix the tractor. He's actually really needed back there. So he's keeping busy. He goes to school, so we talk about his classes and my classes, and you know, ladies.
It's April of 2010 now. Sean isn't scheduled to be released until February of 2017. If you'd like to know more about Sean's cause and what the Shevlinos are fighting for, log on to helpingshawn.com. What do you think Sean's gonna be like once this is all said and done, his 10 years are up?
He's gonna come out and he's gonna be a very, very key part of the community, and he's still gonna be very active and very. I don't think there's going to be much of a change in personality at all, but he's excited to start dating again.